All right.
Oh, right. So we start.
There's still people coming in.
Yeah, but we'll start. Hi, everybody, and we're on to our last webinar for 2021. And before I start, I always forget to do this. Because it's been recorded, if you don't want to be seen, mute yourself, the video, or please leave and watch it on Facebook Live. People on Facebook Live, hi everybody. Nick Watchorn here, the founder of LMPG. And tonight, we don't have Andy Gall from Magnet. Yes, I don't know if that's a blessing in disguise, because me and not Andy normally lock heads on these webinars. So tonight, we've got the number 2 in Magnet Project. And Magnet Project is the new name that was CKS. And we've got Patrick Houghton. Patrick, would you like to come and say hello to everybody?
Hello, everybody. Evening.
Okay. And we've got Ross. And by the way, Patrick is, he looks after the central corridor for the project, Magnet Project. And he's now also been promoted to the number 2. So all 3 regions are going to be reporting into Patrick. So Patrick, on behalf of LMPG, congratulations and well done.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Good. And then we've got Ross Johnson from, well, I don't know, you've been working with us for a long time. And he's actually,
very long time.
He's been promoted and he's now, I called him a project manager and he's a sales manager. Am I correct?
You are absolutely correct. I am a sales manager.
You're the one who's doing the presentation tonight.
Combination of myself and Patrick. Yes, we are doing the presentation. Yeah. And
I haven't seen this, so this is going to be a lot of questions for me as well. So just like to say welcome and thank you very much for coming on. Okay. So
pleasure.
Before we start, I'm going to ask you, how's the year been for Magnet?
Very good. Very, very good. Yeah, it's obviously not without its challenges and at times been tough, but as a business, particularly as we've, I'm sure a lot of you know, merged with Rixon Way, but we've successfully done that. We've come out the other side, and yeah, overall we've had a strong year, but we've definitely got the foundations in place for pushing forward next year, and yeah, looking forward to having a full year at it, so to speak.
Okay. And Ross, are you enjoying your new role?
Absolutely, very much so. It's developed me as an individual, that's for sure. It's been one hell of a couple of years for everybody, I think. And I mean, my area in particular, which we'll go into a little bit more detail in later on, but the band this year has just been amazing. It's been incredible.
We've had a cracking year, but I don't want to spoil it. Yes.
No, don't steal us thunder.
No, I won't. I'll just keep my mouth shut because I can't keep a secret. Tell me something, and the whole world finds out about it. Yeah. So, okay. So, Anthony, have I missed anything you wanted me to go over?
No, I didn't know whether you were going to mention me at all because you've been very excited to get started already. What I mention is that questions are to go in the chat facility that is at the bottom of Zoom right here, or if you're watching on Facebook, you can comment them, or at the end, as we did last week, and it was a lot of fun last week actually, if you just type in and say, I've got a question. You won't be hearing a lot from me today though, because the person that will be doing the questions is Tracy, Membership Director at LMPG. Tracy, do you want to say hello?
Hello, everyone.
So she's in the office after hours, where I'm going to be sat back with my feet tonight. So best of luck, Tracy. Best of luck, Ross, Patrick, Nick. I'll see you all later.
You just make sure you're about to. So I'm about to do something wrong. Yes.
I'll still be here.
I'm about to push the wrong button. But let me introduce Tracy. Tracy's going to be getting more involved in the webinars. Tracy got a big promotion this year, and she became a director of LMPG. So I know I've said that before, but I just want to praise you for your hard work. And
congratulations, Tracy.
More involved in the running of the webinars. Okay, good.
Cheers, Nick.
That's right, good. I thought you weren't going to say anything then. So how are we going to start? Ross, are you going to start, mate?
Yes, no, I'll start.
A lot of people on here tonight waiting for you.
Yeah, no, I shall start. I shall share my screen with you guys and get this underway. You want to give me the nod, Nick, when you can see that?
Yep, I can see it.
Fantastic. So Nick touched on it a little bit. Obviously, you guys all know as Magnet Contract Kitchen Solutions of old, but we are now known as Magnet Projects. It is much more of a branding change. There's nothing in terms of the communication with the stores, the relationship with the stores. Everything remains as you've known it for the years that have gone by. It's simply more of a brand alignment from a commercial perspective, just to give us a little bit more consistency across the 3 divisions of Magnet in terms of Magnet Retail, Magnet Trade, and Magnet Projects. A little bit of an agenda this evening. My computer decides it likes to work. We'll do a couple of introductions just so you fully understand what myself and Patrick do. Go into the sales mix for LMPG this year so you can see how that splits up across the country. Go into a little bit of detail in terms of the success we've had, particularly in my area, but in the from a central region on a whole. Go through the process that you guys need to follow when you go into a store, just to make sure that we tick every box. And then we'll also do the exciting bit, which is the product launches we've got upcoming for 2022.
Yeah, Patrick, sorry, Ross, can I just say one thing? When you lean back, your voice goes. Don't lean back.
I'll lean forwards.
Yes.
I don't like people seeing too much of my face because sometimes it puts them off. So I'll make sure I lean forward. I shall pass over to you, Mr. Houghton.
Thanks, Ross. So obviously Nick very kindly gave us a quick intro. Just to give you a little bit more on me. So to say, new role, Head of Regional Sales for the South. Main objective is to develop the sales within those regions. Have 3 regional managers report directly into me. That includes South West and Wales, Central Region, and London and South East, although we are now looking for a replacement for the London and South East region. Main drivers, unsurprisingly, to deliver on the regional targets, but I also have a direct link into the main Magnet Projects board, and also contribute to the main strategic objectives. Alongside that, it's also one of the main objectives is to gain consistency and best practice across all the 5 regions, cover the whole UK. That includes training and development for the regional colleagues to make sure we deliver a high-class standard of design and project management. And just for me, I've been in contract kitchens for 17 years now. I've been in sales for longer than that, but contract kitchens for 17 years, 12 of which have been with Magnet. So it'll be 12 years with Magnet as of a week's time. That's me.
A little bit more about me then. So my particular area is the East Midlands. I cover 8 stores within the East Midlands as a sales manager for Magnet Projects. My main remit is the sales for the kitchens, the property and housing developer market. That's my main remit of why I'm here. And one of my subtitles is I'm an LMPG account manager. So I cover the account manager role for the LMPG members that are under the 8 stores that are within my immediate area. It's again a little bit of focused on my particular area. We are 29.1% up on LMPG sales from last year, which is fantastic. It's my job to have direct contact with the LMPG members, make sure that they've obviously got my contact details should they ever feel like they need them. And we do that through introduction calls and emails to the new members when they join. That's a requirement of every sales manager across the country. Every new member gets some form of contact from us, when they first join up, so they know who we are and what we do and how they can benefit from the fantastic discounts you guys get.
So what you're saying to me there, Ross, is every new member who joins LMPG gets a direct phone call introducing their sales account manager for that area.
Yep, they get some form of contact, whether it's phone call or email, to introduce the sales manager and relevant LMPG account manager for the area that they are immediately in.
Okay, good.
Mr. Houghton?
Okay, so just to give a bit of detail in terms of LMPG sales mix. So overall, 37% up on year, which is just fantastic, absolutely fantastic result. Just to give you a bit of an idea of how that splits in terms of across the country. So as you can see, the mainstay, over 50% is central and north. Central being just over 30%, North over just 21.5%, just under 20% in southwestern Wales, Scotland 15%, and something I know Nick wants to talk about, and something we need to focus on is London and southeast, and the relative nature of that region and the affluence. Lower than we would want, just over 13%. So that's certainly one of the areas that we really want to focus in on.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. But I don't want to give you a hard time about London straight away.
Well,
straight away.
No, I'm not.
You're going to wait to the end of the presentation, are you, Nick?
Yes, I'm going to wait. What I'm saying, Patrick, is that 30%, and I do believe we're 10 times better than we were 3 years ago in the way that LMPG members get treated. Yeah, far better. We have issues, but we sort them out really quite quickly. But London, if I have any issues, it's London.
Yeah,
and we need to concentrate on that, because just figures don't lie. Why would a member go in there when they don't get treated nicely? Yeah, we need to concentrate on that. We've shown 30%. You look at how much business doing. Yeah, I don't want to give the overall figure because you want to do that at the end. But my God, we had a record. We didn't lose business in the COVID year. Yeah, we actually did a little bit more than 2019. Yeah. Well, to do what we've done this year is absolutely phenomenal. And if London, had gone up by what everybody else had gone up, it'd been a phenomenal year. I think London.
Look, I mean, we can't, as you say, we can't. The bottom line is the figures don't lie, and that's one of the main focuses for me and the business is London and Southeast, both LMPG and otherwise. As well as I do, Nick, it takes time. There's numerous variables that feed into that, but it certainly will get addressed.
But I'm so proud, and I really am proud of the members. And sometimes it's been challenging, but we must be doing something right to do 37% growth.
Absolutely.
We must be.
Yeah,
that's really good.
So I'll go into a little bit more about how we've been successful in terms of my immediate area and the central region in total in terms of LMPG and how we do things where we are, just to make sure that we get the right type of service out there for you guys. One of the main things is branch awareness. There has to be a strong presence in the store for LMPG in terms of the store's awareness of LMPG. These guys are the absolute lifeblood in terms of getting you guys the right type of service when you're going into a store. And part of that is making sure that there's visible POS in the stores, making sure that they can see what LMPG is, how we process it internally. And one part of that is our internal communications in terms of updates and new packages. And, when you guys look at your appliance packs and things like that, it's important that we are communicating the most recent ones to the stores to make sure that there is no cross references when it comes to pricing and things. And that's one thing that we have been pretty consistent at. Employee buy-in falls hand in hand with that. It's important for me, particular. I like to highlight employees when they've done a particularly good job with LMPG. We do have that visibility in terms of figures internally. We can see that, and it's one thing I do point out when there's a particular branch member that is picking up LMPG really well and they're doing really well and the figures are up. I do point that out, and it is a communication that goes to their line manager, and it's something that for me it's really important. Something I always do as well is sit with new colleagues. I'll always sit with new colleagues. As you can imagine, we have a relatively high labour turnover, not just a Magnet but as an industry. For me, it's really important to sit with the new colleagues and show them what LMPG is, run through it with them, show them how to deal with it, what the correct way to deal with it is. And one of the parts of that is showing them the benefits. These guys don't just do this for their own good. It's that they do get benefits from that. And we have that in place internally to make sure that the service that's given is rewarded. And that's one of the main things that drives it. another massive advantage for them is that they have a consistent and reliable support team in the projects team themselves. You know, although we are a separate division to Magnet, we work very closely with the trade and retail divisions, and we work hand in hand with them, and making sure that they have that consistent and reliable resource to rely on if questions are raised, or if there are any things that they want to question themselves, then, you know, if they feel like they've got that support to hand, it's something they'll feel a lot more comfortable with. We also have a national team that deal with inquiries from a head office perspective as well, which Jill is a part of, which obviously a lot of people will know Jill. And obviously we have to have, from a projects team perspective, we have to have an appreciation for their business as usual. You know, these guys have got you know, retail showrooms to run as well as looking after our LMPG requirements, and it's important that us as a projects team understand that and appreciate that, and don't just take that for advantage or forget or ignore it that it exists. It's important that we appreciate that and, you know, help them and support them with that. And from your perspective, it's following the process. You know, if you guys will have a set process in place that we've had for a number of years now, that ensures that you get the correct discounts on those quotes, because we all know that the price is the driving figure. And if you guys follow the process, there is no reason as to why you shouldn't get those the first time round. And as you will know, as well as everyone does, time is money.
Can I ask one question?
Yeah, fire away.
We come back to the, so the branch, because sometimes people throw at members, oh, we don't earn anything out of that. So the designer who designs the kitchen in the branch earns money out of it.
Yes, yeah. They get specific LMPG commission. Yeah.
Thank you. So you heard it now. It's not just me telling them.
Ross, no. while you've been interrupted, mate, the Zoom menu that you've got on your screen at the top of your screen is creating a black bar of the title. Could you whip that down to the bottom?
Do I just drag it? Yeah.
Yeah, if you can.
I am not technically savvy, so I'll try my
I'm
best.
really hoping this doesn't break everything.
Look at that.
Yes, that'll do. That'll do.
Everybody relax. I've sorted it.
Okay.
I'm glad that was you.
Yeah, so am I. Yeah, so anyway, like I say, time is money, and you guys will appreciate as much as I do. Your priority isn't set there, you know, get the kitchen sorted and spend time after time after time trying to get the kitchen spread away. You want to get it sorted, you want to get it sorted quickly. You've got several other things on your projects that you need to get sorted, which is why if we follow that process and we get that right first time element in there, you know, everyone's going to be much happier. Yes. And in company with that, and if we get all that right, and if that goes to plan, and you know, everything's sunshine and rainbows, you get a strong in-store relationship with an employee in there. And that's ultimately what we're after at projects. You know, we want you guys to build up a strong relationship with a particular staff member in a store, so that you've got that go-to guy or girl that will sort out your inquiries and your kitchens. And you know, the relationship in the process is a lot more smooth when you have that click with the right person in there. I'm sure that everybody would agree with me on that
one. Good.
See, now I'm gonna have to move that bar again. Look, there we go. The process itself, obviously this is outlined with you guys when you first join as a new member, and the contact is made from the sales manager. We also have a link to this that goes into a lot more detail. If you want it, I'm sure we can orchestrate some sort of list and get it sent out to you. It's no problem at all. We have 187 trade stores across the UK that you guys can choose from when you're looking to order your kitchens. There is a caveat to that: the retail only stores that may be around in your area cannot be used. It must be a Magnet trade store. It's very obvious that they all have Magnet trade store signs above the door. If you can't see a Magnet trade sign, it isn't a Magnet trade branch. It's very simple. What we do ask is that you use a branch that's close to the property you are developing. So not necessarily the branch that is close to you in terms of where you're based. It needs to be a branch that's close to your development. The reason behind that is purely and utterly logistics of delivery. Making sure that we've got the relevant delivery costs in there to make sure that we're delivering that, and obviously from a logistics perspective in terms of the project and ongoing and during, you've got that localized branch.
One of the things that we do say is, you're dead right, is you use your local branch. But if I'm in London yes, or down south in my properties up north, that what we've done is that they ring the local CCAF manager, project manager in that area.
Yeah,
because that's just becomes an absolute nightmare, because the branch saying, well, what do you want us to do? So normally they will ring the local project manager in that area to help out.
Yep. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. That's absolutely fine. If you want to ring your, your LMPG account manager / sales manager from a Magnet perspective, that's absolutely fine. Obviously, I appreciate completely depends on your logistical scenario in terms of whether you're up at the project or whether you're not, or whether you've outsourced it to the project management team from your end. Get that completely understand.
Because that's where we do the online design as well.
Yeah.
To help out as well.
Yeah, and obviously that's where the national LMPG team come in, and Joe's guys look after that for you, don't they?
Yeah.
So your prices are set. You have a pre-agreed framework with us that is fully national. It applies to every member. It's one of the benefits that you guys get, these huge discounts, and I'm not just saying that because I'm a sales manager. They are genuinely huge discounts. And one of the main things is making sure that you guys understand that this is pre-agreed. This is a framework that is already set. You have a question there? I heard some muttering.
No, I mean, it is set for the COVID year of this year, because prices just went astronomically. But we have a price framework that today's the price has gone up, and that will normally, unless it's the act of God, will stay fixed until the 1st of December next year.
Yeah, look, I mean, we don't have any, we don't foresee any circumstances where at the moment where that price needs to change. As you say, we've had a price increase as of today. We've had a 5% price increase to prepare us for 2022.
Yeah.
We don't currently foresee anything at the moment that's going to affect that in terms of changing that number.
No.
One of the most important things is when you walk into a store, you identify yourself as an LMPG member using your membership card. It's important that the guys recognise that you're an LMPG member. In terms of the trade designers or the kitchen designers, as we call them now, that is absolutely vital to ensuring that the correct account is used and the correct discounts are applied to your quotation. And another thing is making sure that your property is logged with LMPG. This is something that's checked. We do check this internally when we are producing your designs. We check that the postcode that property is that the kitchen's being delivered to is registered on your LMPG account. So it's really important that you guys log that prior to coming in, just to make sure that it doesn't cause any delays our end when we're trying to produce the designs or quotations for you. And one thing I will add, and just from a time and turnaround perspective, is that it is preferred if you can bring in a full set of comprehensive dimensions with you. It is much quicker for us. It is much easier. It gets it turned around much easier for you. You will have a guy or a person that's installing this kitchen for you. They can measure that kitchen for you. If you don't feel comfortable, if you don't feel happy measuring the kitchen for whatever reason, these guys are more than capable of measuring the room and getting relevant dimensions for our designers to turn the design around for you. That's completely and utterly possible. Any questions on that, Nick, or you happy?
No, but again, for ease, because of the volumes that we're doing, is if you can measure the kitchen, and 90% of it is being done by members measure, because it just makes the process so easy, and it really does make that process quicker, a lot easier. So I say to everybody, this is a contract pricing kind of service that Magnet provide us. If we want all whistles, all dancing, then the price is going to go up. So from my point of view, Andy don't want to employ 20 people to go around the country doing hundreds and hundreds of measurements. But in circumstances where it's a complicated kitchen, then please, account manager or somebody will go out and check measure or give your property a once over in measurement. That's all very sensible to me. But if you can measure, please go out and measure.
Yeah, makes perfect sense. Anything to add, Mr. Houghton, or are you happy?
No. I think that's covered everything. The key aspects of what needs to happen from a process point of view.
Cool. Good. Right, now we're into the fun bit, which is the product launches for 2022 and the new ranges that you will see coming through. So firstly, we'll jump into the frontals, which is obviously your fascia that's on the units. First one is in addition to our Band 2 range Nova, which I'm sure most of you will know already. We've got a Nova Matte Seagrass colour being introduced, which you can see there in the imagery. Very on trend, very current. You know, it's something that people are looking for, these bright neutral colours, and I mean, if the POS imagery is to go anything by, then that kitchen there looks absolutely stunning. You know, it's a really good colour that, you know, the interior designers of us can really go with and use to accent things. And, you know, I'm sure, you know, we've got interior designers out there that will agree with me with that one. Then we move into our replacement for Fusion. A lot of you will know that Fusion is a range that's been discontinued now with us. We've moved into replacing it with a range called Hoxton, which comes in 3 different colours. The first one you can see on this POS imagery, which is Metallic Midnight. Very, very, very nice door. Probably my preferred favourite. It's an 18.5mm MDF, so a really, really good quality door. And this is what you would describe as a metallic paint on a car. It's very similar. It's got a shine and a glisten through the actual finish of the door. It's such a nice color. If it's relevant and appropriate for the property that you're developing, I'd definitely consider it as a color. 100%. It's a really, really nice door.
What banding?
Band 4.
Okay.
We've got the Pebble. They're much more of a neutral color. You know, it's definitely something that can be a lot more generic and applied into a property that doesn't necessarily need that dark color of the midnight. You know, it's something that you can still have a little bit of a personable touch, but not something that's too individualized. And then the gloss white. So obviously that is the direct replacement for the Fusion. We did Fusion in gloss white. So that is your direct replacement for that. Then we move into one that has been launched as of today. So Ludlow is our replacement for Somerton. As it says there, it's a 20mm solid ash frame door. Inside the actual framework of the door, there is some detailed beading on the inside. Again, a really, really, really good quality door. This is the more premium end we're offering, sitting in our Band 6 level of pricing. But a very, very, very high quality door, and really will give that extra special touch to a development that again is relevant and appropriate for that level of kitchen. Again, lovely colours, starting with the Midnight. Again with the Pebble, something that we're going trying to bring in consistently throughout the banding is the Pebble colour. And then again, we've got a new colour in Ludlow, which we've not done before, which is Fresh Linen, which is like a off-white colour, which is, you know, it's
about time I got a new kitchen.
Well, I knew that was coming at some point. I just wasn't 100% sure which slide it was coming on.
There's Nick's favourite.
Yep, there's Nick's favourite. It's a really, really, really nice door, and it will lend itself really well to that style of kitchen you can see there in that POS imagery. It really does add a little bit of a touch to what is a lovely, lovely front door. Worktops. A couple of moves from our worktop range that you would be used to. We've moved quite a few ranges into our Rixonway collection, which is our entry range. You know, a couple of them you'll be used to seeing and have lightly used before, and they've moved into our Rixonway collection now, which is into our entry range. A couple of new laminate worktops as well, in terms of our magnet collection. One thing we are trying to do is try and generalize the actual depths of the worktops that we're producing. So we've got introducing a few more 22mm laminates there that are obviously square edged. A couple of more concrete options. I know obviously a lot of you would have used our concrete before, but now we've got a polished concrete and a light concrete, so something a little bit more different. A smoked oak, which is a lovely dark oak, and the Maquina, which is a marble finish. And then obviously underneath there you can see the 38mm that are coming in as well. One that you have probably used before, again, is the Colmar oak. Colmar oak is now moving to square edged. So again, laminate that is definitely classed as an entry range laminate worktop, but that square edge will just give it, again, that more realistic feel and a bit more of a premium look as well, if that's what you're looking for your property. A couple of additions to our quartz range as well. In there we've got we go into trying to really develop our offering on quartz and offer a little bit more on-trend finishes and ranges that we didn't do before. A lot of the heavy grained marbles are coming through now, which is something we didn't offer, but is becoming very popular, and we thought we'd jump on that bandwagon. And
there's some work going behind the scenes with magnets, Ross, that we've been having meetings about, because Jill wants to put them in categories for LMPG members to make it really simple. Tracy's working on that. Am I correct in saying that, Tracy?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, behind the scenes. So what we want to do is do just different sectors. Sorry, different.
Nick, it's coming up in about 3 seconds on this presentation.
Sorry?
It's coming up next slide of this presentation.
Oh, I'll shut up then.
Okay, so this is our magnet collection in terms of our new ceramic worktops. I'm not sure if people have heard of Dekton before, but a very similar material to quartz in terms of its usability, but a much more premium level finish. Ceramic level worktops have a lot more flexibility in terms of their depth and thickness, and these finishes are bang on trend and really, really strong in terms of interior design perspective and getting your development to give it that Pinterest look, as people like to do. So it's again, these samples are available in your stores. These are up. The Tor Dekton sample stands are in there. They're a good size sample. Definitely worth a look if it's relevant and appropriate for you. And there you go. The worktops for LMPG, as Anthony rightly said, we are looking to bring that through, and it's something that Jill's working on. Not something I know too much about, so I won't promote myself in knowing a lot about it.
That's going to go live, my understanding, in January for LMPG members. Oh, I am correct on saying that, Tracy and Anthony. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're being a little bit coy. Sorry, Tracy.
Yeah.
Being a little bit coy about it because it's got to go out to an agency and back again. But last time we had a meeting, we were probably 95% there. So very little to do now.
Yeah.
Definitely something coming then.
Yeah, no, it's but they didn't want us to say it was going to go live December and the 15th of January. What they tried to do now is get to a date that we go live with it. Okay, we're nearly there.
Very nearly. A little bit on handles. Again, we've really tried to introduce a few more lip handles into the range, especially with the introduction of Hoxton. That slab door really does lend itself to a top trim handle. It really does add to the effect of the door and what we're trying to do from a design perspective. New colours in there as well. Obviously, we've not had brass before in terms of a top trim handle, so it gives that option there as well. Another new handle is the black hexagonal handle. We've not had that before, so the actual bar itself is a hexagonal shape. Very, very thin, gives really, really modern look, something that would go very well with that Nova Matte Seagrass that we saw earlier. A couple of new taps as well. One thing that we've tried to do with the tap range is try and bring through colours, but in with the same tap style. So you'll see there with the Coniston and the matte black and the brushed brass. We've obviously got Coniston now that we supply to match we do it in chrome, and we also supply it to match the sinks in terms of the granite composite sinks that you guys will use. We obviously supply the Coniston tap to match those, and we're trying to develop the Coniston tap to offer a few more colours in there, so it just gives that flexibility. And I'm confident that the brass one is something that's going to take off. And also in there you can see that we've introduced our first sensor taps, so they'll be in the range as well, both in matte black and chrome. And that's us. That concludes the presentation. Patrick, if you want to add anything at this stage.
No, that was all good. That was all good. I think obviously covered the key developments in terms of products and product offerings. So no, that's all good. Spot on.
We go to a lot of the questions, an awful lot of questions.
I was just going to say, yeah,
I was just going to say we've got quite a lot of questions here. So, firstly, the first question was, can the courtesy call that members receive when they first join LMPG, can that be extended to existing members?
So do you mean
when they renew, yes, and they have a news magnet, a year's gone past,
yeah,
is there any way that because you get a list from us of all the new members, because you go in and take the data, yes, and if we could do that on renewing members?
Yep, I see no reason why not.
Good.
Okay, great. So we've got a London member here who said that they would have bought a kitchen had a local branch been more responsive.
Right, okay. What I would suggest, Nick, I think anything to do with branches, particularly London and South East, if I mean, we could be here the rest of the evening, which I'm more than happy to do, but it's obviously a slightly bigger picture than being able to answer.
Yeah, I'm not going to put a finer point in it. Patrick's been brought in to sort London and the South out.
Send it through to Nick, Tracy, and whoever in terms of individual stores, and it will get addressed.
Okay. And that's it. We're not going to hide any punches.
Listen, last thing I want to do is miss out on kitchen sales. So if we've missed out on the kitchen because of a store, I want to know about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. On that note, we have another comment from another member who every time they go into their branch, they try to dissuade them from purchasing through LMPG, and the branch can offer them a better deal. What do you advise in that circumstance?
Well, I think twofold. One, that needs to get flagged, and again, starting point's the account manager, but if you get no joy from the account manager, then it gets escalated and ultimately can end up with me. I can guarantee if it ends up with me, it will get sorted. I think alongside that though, a store will not be able to do a better deal. That's the point. You know, and I think there's been a number of comments in terms of discounts that are offered by other parts of the magnet business, particularly retail, and as we approach January, as we approach Christmas in January, that's massive for our retail business. I think also, you know, we know that particularly our trade side can sometimes do slightly better pricing on appliances. Okay, but that's underwritten by the price they charge on the furniture. So on a given kitchen, I guarantee you LMPG are getting the best rate on a given kitchen.
You heard it off the horse's mouth. You know what my view is. That's true. I always say this, and excuse my French, but bullshit baffles brains. Yeah, you got a designer in front of you. Oh yeah, because the guy might be behind target. He's going to manipulate you as much as he can to get the figures on his figures. Yes. Yep. So let's not pull the punches. I can guarantee you, and Patrick just told you, you are going to struggle to get it to LMPG pricing. I can tell you that, because as soon as that happens, or someone's doing something unethically, it gets picked up straight away.
Yeah, listen, one of the challenges is there needs to be a change of mindset, particularly in a certain region within the business. So it's going to take a bit of time. The starting point is any issues, frustrations with individual branches, feed it through to Nick and the team, and it will come through to me, and we'll get the wheels in motion to deal with it.
And if that member can let us know privately, and we'll get Tracy to give you a ring tomorrow. Don't put it on here. Just let us know which branch you're trying to convince you to not go through LMPG, please. And we'll feed it through directly to Alex. And your name won't come up. I promise you that. Yeah, because there's no point. We don't do that. We don't embarrass anybody. Okay.
I have some feedback from a member who bought a Wren kitchen. So their feedback was that the kitchen was the easiest that ever fitted due to instructions and the items being labelled. How easy is it to fit a magnet kitchen?
It's actually a difficult one to answer, because I mean, is this member already, have they already fitted kitchens before? I mean, for anyone,
I believe it was their tradesman that fitted this kitchen.
Yeah, I've not heard that ours is any easier or harder to fit. To be perfectly honest, I think it's a very similar fitting process. Ross,
yeah,
what do you feel?
Yeah, I mean, one thing I'll add to that is, as a business, we have recently looked at our easy fitting element, and it is something that's on the radar considerably in terms of making our product as easy to use as possible for the tradesmen or tradespeople. You know, we are currently running a project of an easy fit manual, and we now do rigid appliance housings. We do QR codes on our units in order to help people construct them. It's something that's on the radar for the business in terms of improving it. You know, how easy is a kitchen to fit? It's such a question. It's such an open question to interpretation. There isn't an answer that's specific. But what I can tell you is the business is focused on making ours as easy to fit as possible.
Okay, so sorry, so we have another question regarding the 50% off offer at the moment, and the member would like to know how that impacts LMPG pricing.
I'm assuming they're referring to the retail promotion.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, the retail promotion the business offers is based on the retail pricing. It doesn't affect the LMPG framework, as you mentioned earlier. If you're talking in terms of competitiveness, then there is none. You know, you guys are aligned within our project and contract pricing list. You know, the list prices are different, the starting price is different. So it doesn't mean just because they've got 50% off that yours are going to be any different. I can guarantee you that you are still with the most competitive option.
Okay.
Great.
The next question I've got is magnet as well, not so much question but feedback. Magnet measure was where my kitchen fell apart, so they couldn't get that measuring service. Is that something that all branches should be doing for LMPG members, or should they be going in with their own measures?
When they say couldn't get, do they mean completely, or do they mean within the time frame that they needed to get it within?
I don't know, Ross.
I think look, I mean, again, it's one where, from a service point of view, if anything like this gets fed separately, then we can obviously look into it. If it gets fed back to Tracy, it's very difficult to comment without knowing specifics. But but in terms of the actual, as Nick mentioned, in terms of the actual service, it's wherever, as Ross mentioned, wherever possible, if you can bring in your dimensions, then that speeds up the process. The branch's remit is to support where possible in terms of check measures and surveys, but that's not carte blanche and standard. So
with the amount of kitchens that we're doing at the moment, we're doing over 300 kitchens a month at the moment. So if a branch is really busy, you're back again. I don't understand the question, because all that a member does is pick the phone up, speaks to my team, we'll get hold of one of you lot and say, can you help us out? Can you go and do a check measure? Or can you go and do a measure? That honestly, and there's a comment on here about, is there a way to update? Look, nothing's perfect in the kitchen world. I don't care which company you are. There are always going to be issues. You lean on us. That's what LMPG are really there for. I say until I'm blue in the face. You're back. You're a member of ours. So if somebody doesn't want to do a measure, pick the phone up. If it's just one line and it's a galley kitchen, I say, can't you put a measure from one end? But if it's a complicated one, we'll ring Ross or whoever to say, look, we need a check measure, or we need a measure. So you pick the phone up to LMPG. I can't say any louder. We're there to support members. If you go into a branch and the branch turns around and say, well, LMPG are a load of crap. Yes, because they want the deal. You ring us. That's what LMPG is there for. If you think we only get it with Magnet, we get it with Johnston's, we get it with all the suppliers because of our pricing matrix. Yeah, I can't be fairer than that. You have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 of us in the 11 of us in the office to support LMPG members. So please just pick up the phone. Don't get frustrated, because once you get that frustration, then we're off to the freaking races, aren't we? Yeah, and we're climbing up the hill. So please, any crap, any problems with any of our partners, just pick up the phone. We deal with it 99% of the time. And people have known me. Yeah, we jump on it. If you want me, you get me.
Just on top of that, so for example, Ross has currently got one of our senior project managers. She's helping out with some kitchen plans, LMPG kitchen plans, because Leicester store a little bit up against it at the moment from a resource point of view. So the senior project manager's helping out. So genuinely, if we can, we will do what we need to get it looked at. Believe me, the last thing I want to do is not get the kitchen looked at and the kitchen sold. So, you know, as long as we know about it, we'll do all we can to make it happen.
Right. Next question. Yep. Is can we have any kitchens in Magnet? No. There is one area that we don't touch. That's the 27 painted different doors. What do you call that range?
Paint order, yeah.
That's the one area, because if something goes wrong, it'll take weeks and months to get that door in if it comes chipped or whatever. So we've moved that outside the contract. And under LMPG, we don't have flat pack kitchens. Why do I want to pay a flat pack price, when it comes out the same price as a rigid carcass? No, keep it very simple. We only do rigid carcasses.
Exactly that, Nick. And we do also have a brochure on the website. We're going to get a new one soon, of course, with all these new kitchens, which has bands 1 through 6 of all the kitchens that are available, rigid carcass contract kitchens on LMPG. So there's more than enough choice, there's more than enough colour range, but it just puts it all together so you can see what band they're in and what they look like in a kind of lifestyle.
On the brochure, in our website, when the new brochure comes through, it'll be as a PDF on our LMPG website. The bandings are always there, so it's really clear on the bandings of what kitchens. Yeah.
We've also got a cupboard full of them in the office.
Yes.
Because we didn't have any events this year. So if you want to come down and pick one up, feel free.
Yeah, we've got hundreds of the damn things. What's that one?
Okay, next question we've got is, are you still selling the Max Top worktops?
Ross?
Max Top, we've discontinued that, haven't we, Ross?
Yes.
Yeah. But Minerva would be obvious replacement, I guess, Ross?
Yes, yeah, for sure. Depending on what you were using the Max Top material for, and why you'd chosen the Max Top material, you know, we have some serious, really, really nice premium laminates now that would service a premium look if that's what you were going for the Max Top for. But Minerva is also an upgraded level of material, if that's what your aim was, from in terms of
the Max Top was the quartz that could get fitted on site, wasn't it?
It was quartz material that was laminated over a corrugated plastic.
It was a very good product, but it had some limitations, which is why we've discontinued.
So the answer is no.
The answer is no.
Good. Right. Do you do more than 900 worktop, 900 millimeter worktops wider?
No, not in laminate worktops. No.
Hey.
Hello. Just got for a walk. Yeah. Right. The discounts on worktops will be announced once this new brochure is done in January, because that's one of the areas that we've got a sticking point on. So we'll come back to everybody in January.
The brochure's fully priced as well. So when we get that out, kind of like the kitchen brochure, but that's not priced because it's a full kitchen. But the worktops, we've tried to make it as easy as possible. And I should state as well, in the meeting that we had with its marketing team the other day, we were blown away because they said, whatever's easiest for your members, that's what we're going to do. So that's why we push for pricing in it. And they're happy to do that for us.
Okay. Yeah, what is a sensor taps?
Sensor taps are contactless taps. They're taps with sensors, literally as it says.
And you put your hand under it and it comes out.
It's at the side, yeah. But
Okay.
yeah.
There, Richard. Tracy, do you want to take back over?
Yeah, sure. So how is the metallic paint on Hoxton with fingerprints?
Metallic paint. No, sorry, my description was what it looks like metallic paint, not that it is metallic paint. It's a metallic finish. With fingerprints, in terms of my personal preference, it's absolutely fine. It's good. It's not a gloss finish, so there isn't an excessive amount of fingerprints. You know, it is more of a matte finish as you would describe it. So yeah, not excessive with the fingerprints in my opinion.
Good. I've got one here for where's he gone? Prices increased today, but if I've got a quote, what do I pay?
If you've got a quote.
Got a quote.
Oh, there you
Sorry, say that again.
Here, I've got a quote. Yeah, we've had a price increase today, but I've got a quote and I'm going to put the order in. How long does my quote last?
It's a good question, actually. As I understand it, the prices have increased as of today. Ross, what's your understanding of it?
Yeah, so your price in terms of is from when you order the kitchen, not from when you receive your quotation.
So there's a member that says, I've got a quote that says it's valid until February.
Okay, again, I would probably think that we'd need to have a look at that. We'd need the quotation itself.
Can I tell you what we normally do? Let's be sensible. Yeah, they're not going to hold it open forever. We had a couple last year, we had a couple year before. If you've got a quote, yes, that's what we normally honour it with this, as long as it's within a really short period of time. We're not going to hold it open for 4 months. But can you go and check that with Andy?
What, in terms of when the price actually will?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll get clarification, but that's fine.
All right.
Okay. Another member said that they had a great service from Magnet Warrington. So nice to see a bit of positive feedback.
Very good. Thanks for that.
Fantastic.
That's
Great
good
news.
The next question is, are the Decton worktops now offered at LMPG discounts? Our branch inquired recently and couldn't get any LMPG discount.
Anthony, I don't know the answer to that question.
I don't remember the Decton worktops.
No, I can't.
In that brochure that we're designing at the minute.
We'll have to.
So I'm not sure, but we'll get further clarification on that once we've got clarity on worktops in general. Honestly, Nick, not heard of a Decton worktop until tonight, and I think I'm okay with it. But now,
chuck it at Ross. Ross, can you look into that for us, mate?
Yeah, no worries.
Okay. Would it be acceptable to have a kitchen delivered to my work address?
Why?
so a member's asked that on Facebook.
Yeah, again, depends. It's one of the things is that, well, I'll make it again very clear, is that the reason why we want it to be delivered to the house where we can monitor if anybody's buying and reselling kitchens or giving them away to family members, etc., etc. That's a conversation. One of my team will pick that up. If you give the officer a ring tomorrow, as long as we prove that it's going into one of your houses, deliver wherever you like. That's just a sensible conversation with us.
Mm.
Okay, Tracy, can you pick that one up in the morning, please?
Yeah, sure. Okay. So another Facebook question. My quote actually says estimate. Why?
Do you know?
Because it's an estimate and it can change. But based on the information, it's an estimated price.
Okay.
I would suggest sending that one over to, if you've got a sort of copy of that, send it over to LMPG. We'll check the prices out anyway, but we'll also have a look at why that's an estimate and not a quote. We've seen enough quotes now to be able to determine what looks good and what doesn't.
Yeah, what would, yeah.
Yeah, get it. Yeah, Anthony, if you can get it sent over, and we need to look into it.
Yeah.
Okay. Do LMPG members get the best price on accessories?
Now, can I take this one as well, Patrick?
Go for it, Nick.
You do, but you've got to understand, companies out there like Magnet, Wren, Howdens will use accessories, yes, to use that as a negotiating tool to get the kitchen. So if I've charged you £1,000 for that cabinet and LMPG get charged £300 for the cabinet, I can't discount really heavy on accessories because I can't hide the price. If it's £1,000, I'll tell you what, I'll give you the accessory for 50 quid because I've still made £950. Contract division doesn't work like this. And you've got to get your heads around it and you've got to understand it. Contract price is the price. There's no negotiations. Yeah. It's like when I tell people about packs for the trade or retail. Yeah. If I've paid 15 grand for a kitchen, like this kitchen, 20 grand, and I paid 6,500. Yeah. Do I really want, can Magnet afford to give me a big discount off my range cooker? I'll tell you what, I'll charge you £20,000 for a kitchen. I'll give you the range cooker that's going to cost you £1,000. Yeah, it's about contract pricing. That's the price. All the extras have to be charged so Magnet don't lose money. Is that putting it clearly and bluntly? I can't put it any other way. Yeah. So yes, you do get the best price, okay, from Magnet. But you might see cheaper prices on the trade counter because they're doing a promotion to get the trade in there. All right. I hope that answers that question.
There's another question as well, Nick, which is I'll ask now just because the answer is going to be similar. So Cam said, if I just need to renew appliances, why can't I have better prices on those?
Yeah, you can do. You come and talk to us, and that's one of the things I'm talking to Andy about. You're dead right, yeah, because they're opening it up into the trade. But what Magnet can't do is lose money on contract giving you the pack prices. I saw a pack price the other day. We were like a tenner out, yeah, because the tradesman, he had to buy the kitchen to get that good. It's like Ring. Ring do dishwashers for £99. So I rang them up and said, can I have 100 of them? I said, can I have 100? They said, no, you've got to buy 100 kitchens because they hide the real price of it into the cabinets. It's the way of the world. So that's the answer. I am sorry, yeah, because you're not in contract, you're looking at it as a retail customer or a trade customer. Yeah. I could put £20, 30, 50 quid on every kitchen. You wouldn't notice it. And I could drop the price of your cookers and hob and extractor fan by 50 quid. We would be the cheapest. But I've lied to you. I haven't given you the best price on that kitchen. And the one thing we try to do is be very transparent. Okay.
Okay. Next question then. Are there any plans to change the finish of the cabinets? For example, wood effect rather than just white?
We do a wood effect cabinet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that worries me. We do oak.
Yeah, we do a white with silver edge and oak.
Yeah.
And there's actually a third ID3, but it's more money.
Okay, Tracy, can you take the name? Can you ring and help the member out and educate them and help them? I hope that.
Yeah, that's from Facebook, that one.
Okay.
So you'll be able to see yourself.
Yep. Next one.
Okay, some more feedback. So Magnet Macclesfield have always been great to deal with.
Great stuff, good to hear, thank you.
Yep, absolutely.
Well, there's good feedback coming through on Facebook as well. So I'll just very quickly run through it. Peterborough, fantastic. Andover, fantastic. But here's a caveat, and this is going to be a difficult question. A Magnet store has been absolutely brilliant, but they've told a member the price increase doesn't kick in until February. So the members put off buying the kitchen or getting a quote for the kitchen at the very least, because they thought, well, I don't need to worry about the price increase. So they've put it very bluntly, and I'm going to put it just as bluntly to you, Patrick. Will you agree to honour the original price?
Well, I agree on the original price. Let me have a look at it. Get the details sent. Let me have a look at it.
That's a better answer than I was expecting. Okay.
Yeah, me too. Thank you. Look, Magnet are here to support LMPG. While you're reading and looking at the next question, are there to support LMPG. Yeah.
Yeah, it's simple as.
And they're not going to. They don't want to piss anybody off or annoy anybody. Yeah, they're there to support and help. They want the business. Yep. Next question.
Okay. Why aren't flat units available on LMPG? They're useful when fitters have to customize units.
Do I mean flat
So,
pack? I see.
Yeah, so why aren't flat pack units available to LMPG members?
Again, because
as a contract business, so as I mentioned, I've been with Magnet 12 years now. Back in the day, we didn't do what's called ready to assemble. We have no need for ready to assemble on contracts. We're competitive enough for the contract market. Plus, also there's an additional cost in terms of assembling the unit, obviously over a pre-assembled. We just have no need. Yes, there are some benefits to it, obviously from a supply point of view, but actually as a business, we've not had any need to do flat pack.
Yep. Sorry.
Okay, some more feedback then. I'm an engineer and the instruction booklet and markings on boxes was a headache.
They are. I thought Andy was going to sort that out, Patrick.
I got to be honest with you, I thought it got better. Back in the day, it was hieroglyphics, but I thought it's got a lot better. Ross?
Yeah. Again, we've got some similar feedback. Magnet kitchen check-off lists are very difficult. It needs 2 people and can take a good while. Howdens are easy to check off. I suggest you take a feather out of their book on this.
Richard, shut up and go away. I'm waiting for Mark Connolly to chirp up about that one. Okay, it's a pain. There's nothing I can do about that.
Well, again, I think you take it out because I think if we know a bit more in terms of store, the store can actually print off documents and details that are very easy to follow.
Yeah, we have what's called an assembly guide that is printed out and produced in exactly the same way as the product breakdown, which is what the members describe in there.
Yeah.
And the assembly guide is a lot more coherent and contains images and things. And you know, if they ask the store for an assembly guide, they will print one. They will print them one out.
I'll tell you what to do then. Can we start putting all them on the Magnet as a PDF file on LMPG's website so people could just log into their account, when they're on the phone, and they can read it from that? Let's get that done.
We can do, but the assembly guide I'm referring to is specific to that kitchen order.
Kitchen layout.
Okay, but you've only got so many different kitchens. If we have to put 30 up there, we have to put it's a PDF file. Put it in a library. Look at Anthony's face. Just had a heart attack.
It's possible, Nick. It's possible. So we've got a similar thing for another partner, Be Modern. We've got all the tech specs for all their different stoves and fires and whatnot. So yeah, if you give me that information, then we can do it.
Okay.
Am I going to enjoy doing it though? No, I'm not.
Just don't.
Okay, next question then. We need to design the kitchen now due to planning electrics for the build, but won't be in a position to order and finalise the kitchen for at least 6 months. Are the base of the designs very standard, so things wouldn't change too much over that period?
No, they wouldn't change. So get it done. That will help you, and you order it in 6 months' time. The cabinet sizes don't really change that much. Never change.
If they're meaning width and they don't change at all, they're all modular. They're all standard sizes.
Yeah, we only add, we don't take away.
Okay. Do we get a discount on the premium ID3 option?
No. That is a retail. That's not contract. That's not a contract product. That is a retail product. Now we can go back and ask Andy, but we've never had a need for it. We really have never had a need for it. But Patrick, can we talk offline about that?
Yeah, we can have a look at that. We can absolutely have a look at that.
Yeah, We've had probably 2 members asking like 3 years.
Okay. Are the Moderna worktops a DIY fitting?
I think the member means Minerva, which is what Patrick was talking about earlier. Are they a DIY fitting? In the assumption that means that they are.
No, they're not in the context of
not,
DIY.
Not really. No.
Nowhere close. They are a Blake to fit.
Yeah, well, to fit them, you need a specialist fitter.
Yeah, you need a fitter that understands the product.
The difference between Minerva and other quartz worktops is there are other quartz worktops that need to be actually a specialist fabricator needs to template, manufacture, and fit. Minerva can be fitted on site, but you need to be a specialist fitter to be able to do that.
Yeah.
So I definitely refer to them as a DIY product or fit.
Okay, another member said, I got my quote yesterday and was told they will honour it for 30 days. The salesman seemed very clear on this point.
That's what normally happened.
Mm.
But I didn't want to chuck anybody under a bus today.
Okay, again, some more feedback. Northampton branch staff are very helpful.
Good, yeah.
Really good.
Mortez has asked, do we need to go to Magnet Trade to use membership discounts? So this is back to the process you mentioned earlier on. Can't go into a retail store. You've got to go to a trade store.
Yes, it's got to be Magnet Trade.
But there is a big but on that. If you want to wander around the store to get some inspiration, because I love going into Magnet stores, the showroom, because it gives you inspiration and they're lovely the way they're laid out. And I've got a couple of ideas on that I've done. But please make sure the person looking after you knows your NMPG and it is on trade side that the quote's being done on. Yeah, because if you've got a retail designer, he might not know or she might not know what you're doing. Am I correct in saying that?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. It has to be a trade only store. Well, it has to be a trade store, not a trade only store.
Yeah, it can be a retail / trade. The one in Leicester's like that. So I've been in there.
Yep, absolutely.
Just remember, members, that the retail staff are in there to sell kitchens as well. So if they see someone walking around giggling about how great this kitchen is going to look in their new pad, they're going to go over and try and tell you it. Just let them know straight off the bat that you're an LMPG member, because if you end up walking out there with a retail quote or even a trade quote, that is nigh on impossible. I'm going to say it is impossible to revert that to an LMPG quote because it's already gone through a different aspect of the business.
Yeah.
You've got to be really, really solid on this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I've got another member who makes a really good point. So 99% of fitters will increase their price massively if you were to present them with a flat pack.
Yeah, that's why we don't sell them.
Yeah.
He has said, though, the issue is the delivery note that comes with the kitchen list, the item by product code, numbers with no description in plain English. Once you get the hang of it, it's manageable. But for the first few times, it's a complete nightmare. So again, it's the instructions on fitting.
There is information from the branch that will make that easier. We'll deal with that. We'll take that offline.
We'll sort that. Yeah, we can get hold of something that's going to make that a lot easier.
Okay, we've also had some more positive feedback on the Dundee and the Shirley branch as well, saying that they were brilliant.
Fantastic.
And Nicole, thank you for your comment about London. Yeah, we'll be sorting that area out. Well done, thank you.
I've got a couple of questions from Facebook, just as we're ending it here. So I'm looking to get door frames and skirting from Magnet. Is the pricing going up for those?
What did you just say?
Door frames and skirting.
Door frame, yeah, joinery items. I would advise that you speak with your branch on that. Me and myself and Patrick don't have any involvement with the joinery side of the business. So I would advise that you speak with your trade representative at the branch if we're referring on that.
Andy's made a comment here saying, because I think with regards to the flat pack, people are saying it's easy to customize them. Andy said it's easy to butcher a rigid unit anyway. And while it may be easy, I could go into my kitchen right now with a hammer and butcher that as well. But is it always a good idea? Not really.
Who's Andy?
Andy is on Facebook. I'm not going to say the last name because, you know, I'll be on Facebook.
Oh, you're not Andy Gold.
I was just thinking, does it begin with G?
Is he
I thought that for a second.
on it?
I thought he sat there watching
It's
it.
not him.
I'm
It's not
going to
him.
ring
It's
him.
not
I'm
him.
going to ring him.
I better freaking say, he can sod off. Hi, Andy, if you're watching this later. Oh, God.
Just to comment as well, regarding the instructions. Instructions come up how many times? 2, 3, 4 times tonight. And it's important to note that there is tribalism in all kinds of trades, kitchen fitters included. I was speaking to a managing director of a large insurance sort of fitting company. They do loads of jobs for insurance providers. They fit kitchens all the time. And he said to me, look, I would never fit a Wren kitchen because the bits don't arrive on time. Now, I'm not taking that as gospel that they're incredibly bad, but people will have bad experiences here, there, and everywhere. It's not a case that instructions are bad here and instructions are fantastic here. At the end of the day, a kitchen is composed of so many different elements. It's easy to get right, it's easy to get wrong, it's somewhere in the middle. That's why, restating Nick's point earlier on, and I don't want to set him off again, that's why you've got people like Ross, 23 of them around the country, and that's why you've got people like Nick, Tracy, and myself, 11 of those in the office to help you out if you ever get stuck.
Absolutely. What we're here for.
Yeah,
We're here for.
Yeah, and where else do you get that kind of service? There's you fall back on people to help you out when it doesn't go smoothly. Yeah, that's just the life that we live in. Yeah, but you're not doing with it through LMPG. You would get supported by us, and then you get supported by Magnet staff. Yeah, does it go wrong sometimes? Absolutely, it does. But there's a willingness to get this sorted. And again, Andy's going to go mad because he don't like me talking about figures. But we have done £6 million this year. 6 million quid of kitchens, 300 kitchens a month. When we started, we did £75,000. That's amazing. It's not me. I didn't do it. You lot done it, members, and so Magnet had done it. Nobody has supported us yet as much as Magnet in kitchens. Oh, it's great that you get phone calls saying, oh, do you want to come over to us? No, I fucking don't. You weren't there. You didn't want to know us when we were small. I am so proud to have Magnet as our partner on kitchens. And our relationship would have to fall really south, sorry, not north, south. Angela, let me do that again.
I was getting a bit watery-eyed there, Nick.
Yes, yeah. From a point of view, for us to not be part of a partner with Magnet, they care, they want the business, and there's a willingness to. Yeah.
I've worked for 2 other kitchen companies, and they're not a patch on what we're about as a business. So, yeah, I couldn't agree more with Nick, to be perfectly honest.
No. And you think that I don't like have heated discussions with Magnet behind the scenes? God, Jesus Christ! I was reminded that a couple of years ago it was in a branch, and I'm going mad at Magnet. I won't say the names of the people yet, and he was in it, yeah, and he said it was like being in the same room as you, Nick.
Yeah, I lived and breathed it.
And I do eat and breathe with Magnet kitchens. But if you look how much business we've done, it's phenomenal. I am so over the moon and so proud as a LMPG being linked with Magnet. And I'm not going to say any more than that. Have we got it wrong sometimes? I mean, yes, we have. But on the whole of it, we've been good. It's been good for us and been good for you and good for the members. And Paul, you've been there from the beginning with us, yeah? How has it grown? I want to bring you in. Iliad.
Give me a chance to speak. Bloody hell. I mean, it's been tremendous. I mean, I remember when we started and Magnet were expecting, what was it, 50 grand off us in 6 months?
50 to 75 grand.
And we did 450 in the first 6 months. It's been tremendous, and I must admit that, you know, people think you've got problems dealing with Magnet. Trust me, we had far worse problems dealing with Howdens. So just remember that.
And we had a contract. We don't forget, when first April we had the contract with Howdens, and we had to terminate it because it went bad.
Yeah. But so thanks, Patrick. I've known you some time now, and we don't always see eye to eye, but you know, fair dues. You always come good and sort the problems out. So again, thank you for that, and thanks to Andy as well.
Yeah, no, pleasure. No, it's appreciated, Paul. Absolute pleasure.
Right. Good.
You've segued very nicely into an outro here, Nick. And unfortunately, this week you can't ask me what we've got on next because this is the final episode of 2021. So,
Yes,
I'll leave it to you.
No, and again, this year we're the business levels and membership has gone up tremendously, and I'm very, very again, I keep using the word proud. Humbled is probably a word. That when we first started back in 2011, did I ever think we'd be over to 5,000 members? We had a business plan, a dream, and Paul would say, "What's your dream?" I said, 5,000 members, and wow, we've done that, and the volume of business we're going to do. I haven't got the final figures. It depends what November and December brings, but we're looking around a 17 to 20 million pound spend as a group with inside all our partners. That's just fucking mind blowing. Yeah, in our first year, I stood and did a presentation. We did only 5 years ago, probably a bit more, 6 years ago, 3 million. And look just how it's gone up. So look, to all members, again, it's just phenomenal. I keep saying the same thing. I don't want to repeat myself. So look, I'm going to shut up. I'm going to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. Yep. And I hope you have a really good one, because it can't be any worse than what we did last year. Yeah, because that was a disaster. 1 minute we're having Christmas, next minute we're freaking not. And if anybody wants a joke, I dropped the turkey on my foot last year. I was in A&E. I really was in A&E. But I'm off to America because my 2 little girls live in America, and I haven't seen them for 2.5 years. So on the 15th of December, I'm going to Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm having Christmas with my 2 daughters. So I'm so excited about that. That'll be a tearful event, but no, I just wish everybody a happy Christmas and have a great happy new year. And don't forget, you've got a plan. So plan early for 2022. And I wish you all success in 2022. I'm done.
Thanks, Nick. Thanks, Patrick. Thanks, Ross. And
thanks everyone.
Thanks for joining us tonight.
And goodbye.
Take care.
Cheers. Bye.